Hi, my name is André and welcome at Your Guitar Workshop. In today's lesson we're going to be looking at Gravity by John Mayer. Now this is the live version, so this is not the studio version, this is the live in LA version. I did another video on the intro section of this, and I guess this is sort of the second part of the intro plus the verse that I'm covering today. We're going to take it where the band comes in and John Mayer continues with this intro, and then we take it into the verse as well. Okay, so we'll do this lick by lick. If you're interested in the tab's already available on my Patreon page. That's all for the chit chat. Let's get right into it, and we'll start with the first lick. All right, so what do? You slide with your middle finger on G towards the ninth position, and then you play 8 on B, like this. Then on 10 of B, you make a full tone bend twice. So it's a bend, release, bend. Then you play a double stop, so you play middle finger 8 on B, pointer finger 7 on G, play them together, and then you make a hammer-on with your ring finger in 9th position. Then you play 7, and then play that 9 again, and then play 7 to 9 on the D string. So like, so that lick, 1, 2, 3. In the next lick, you play the following thing. So what do? Starts off the same, so you have that slide towards 9 with your middle finger on G, twice 8 on B with your pointer finger, 2 bends on 10 with your ring finger, and then 10 normal twice. Then you play the following thing. So what do? So you start with your pointer finger on 5 of A, hammer on with your ring finger in 7, and then pointer finger on D in 5th position. Then you make a minor third with your ring finger in 7th of D and pointer finger in 5th of G. And you play it and immediately slide up a whole step. So that's up 2 frets. Slide down. And then sort of take that same shape, and then from a half step down or a whole step down, play it and slide up back to that original position, like that. So like this. Right? Then you get the following thing. So the first part of it, that's the same as the first one, but then you get this riff. So those are all double stops and hammer-ons and pull-offs. So the first double stop is with middle finger on 8 of B and pointer finger in 7 of G. And then you make a hammer-on with ring finger in 9 of G and a pull-off. And then you fret pinky 10th position of D, like this. Then you play another double stop, so that's 7th position of D and G. You play it, make a hammer on and pull off on 9th position of D. Then you play 10th position with your pinky of A. Then you play another double stop, that's 7th position on A and D. Make a hammer on with your pinky in 10 of A, pull off, and then you play 10 of E string, like this. Then you go to the 3rd position, A, play it, and then make a hammer on with your ring finger in 5th, like that. and then you play third position of E twice. It's like this. So that whole lick. Then you get probably one of my favorite licks out of that intro, and that's this one. So what does he play? With your middle finger, again, you slide towards 9th of that G, then pointer finger 8 of B, and then ring finger 10 of that B string, but then you make a slow bend. Then going to 8 on E, 10, and then with pinky I play 15th, and then you have a pre-bend release on 10th position, and it's probably like a semitone pre-bend or maybe a quarter tone, right? Like that, 10th position of B to twice 8th position of that same string. Like this. Then you get the... So what you play is there with your middle finger you play 9 on G. Then you make a full tone bend, 10th position B. Then you sort of drop it a little and then you push up to 1.5 tones like this. Then you drop it again and you go back to full. It's like this. Then release, pull off to 8th position. Like. And then the next thing you play. And this one, that A, is very hard to hear. It's played very softly, but when you slow down the video to about 25%, you can actually hear it. So if you can hear it at 25%, it has to be in there, or else the trolls will have stuff to talk about, and we don't want that. So how do you play that? So you start with 5 on E, 5 on A, and then 7. Then you play 5 on D, and then you play a double stop 5 on D and G, and then at the same time you make a hammer-on with your ring finger in 7 of that D string. Then you play 5 of D again, and then 7 of A, like this. And then you end on playing with your thumb, third position, E string for that G chord. All right, now for the next section, and we'll start with the first part of it, and here we go. All right, so what do? So first of all, you fret that G major chord. So that's small G major chord on the top, and then fret the bass with your thumb. So you start with the bass first, then you play D, G, and B and E string. Then you play G and B. Then ring finger in 5th of G string. Remove it and play G and B again. And then you put your ring finger back on 5th position of D. Like this. Then you play G, then rake the chord. Then you play B and G. And then you go to this one here. So you got. And this one would be either C6 or A minor over C. A minor 7 over C. And what you do, you have your pinky in 8 of B, pointer finger in 5 of G, ring finger is in 7 of D, and your middle finger is in 7 of E. So you play that 1, 2, 3. Then you play the bottom part of it again, and then you get this riff. So what do? You play 5, 7 on A, 5 on D, and there you have that slide up and down with that minor third again that we did before. Then you play the double stop in 5th position of D and G. Then you do the same double stop, but then on A and D, and make a hammer-on with your ring finger in 7. So like this. Then you play 5th position D, 7th position of E, and then you drag that down, and then you'll land back on that G major chord. So those 4 bars together, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. All right, now for the next few bars, here we go. 1, 2, 3. So what do? You start off with the G chord, then you play D and G together, then you play D, then G and B, then you play ring finger, 5th of G, back to G and B, and then you play E, like this. Then you go back to 5th position with your ring finger on D, and you play that. Then the double stop, middle finger 4th, and pointer finger on 3rd of G and B. And at the same time, make a hammer-on with your ring finger in 5th. Remove the ring finger and play that once more. E string, and then you go to that A minor 7 over E, or C6 over E. So that first part. Then we get this part. So what do? So you fret that chord that we did before, so that's a pinky in 8 of B, pointer finger 5 of G, ring finger 7 of D, and middle finger in 7 of E. And you play A and D, then B, and then G, and then so like this. Then you play that A string again. Then you play the double stop 5th position, D and G. Then the double stop with ring finger in 7th of that D string. And then you play that once more and slide up to 9. Like this. Then we go to this chord. It seems to be a C over E. You have your ring finger in 7th of A. Pointer finger is on 5th of D and G, and pinky is in 8 of B. And then you play this. So you play A, D, B, G, and then A, D, B. And then you go back to that either a C6 or A minor 7 over E. And there you play this. So instead of just fretting this part of the chord, you also with your pointer finger fret the E string as well in 5th position. And then you just play A, D, G, B, E, B, G twice. Then you go to D7. So that's middle finger in 5th of A, pointer finger in 4th of D, ring finger in 5th of G, and pinky is in 7th of B. And there you play A, D, G, and there you play A, D, G, D, and then B, G, D. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6. You do that twice. Then you get the following part. So what do? You play a G minor triad here, so that's with ring finger in 8th position of B, pointer finger in 7th of G, and middle finger in 8th of D. You rake it, and you give it a vibrato. Then you play D, B, G, D. Then you do the same thing for the E flat major 9 chord, major 7 with a 9 chord. So for that shape, you have ring finger in 6 on B, pinky in 7 of G, pointer finger in 5 of D, and middle finger is in 6 of A. And you rake A, D, and G. Then you play A once more. And then you play B, G, D. And then you get that D7 chord again. So that's A, D, G, B, G, D, and then a sort of a quick A to D and G. And that sort of concludes the intro section with the band and the verse. If you need the tab for this, well, if you got to the end of the video, then I'm kind of assuming you don't, but if you do still need the tab, then that's going to be available on my Patreon page. I'm going to be working in the coming weeks to finish this tutorial. Wishing you all a great week or weekend, and hope to see you again sometime.